Good afternoon. I'm Carmen Tribbett, and I have written some children's books that are fun for children. This is the Monster Dog series, the first of the series, and it's a small dog with a big attitude. And this small Shih Tzu is Tasse. She's small, she's sassy, and she has a lot to say. And I'm going to start by reading you one page so that you can see. I should add right now that I have absolutely a marvelous artist. Her name is Hunerdosse, and this is one of the pictures that goes with this particular story. And this is about her barking platform, because she's a very noisy little Shih Tzu with a good bark, thing that she likes to do best of all in the whole wide world. And she says, and she's a dog with a definite attitude. And she says, I don't get up until 10 minutes to 9. I am not on duty watchdogging until I decide to be. I usually start around 10 when the mailman comes. It is one of my favorite times of the day. I bark until he is scared off. Sometimes I don't stop until Carmen says, no. I also have my own barking platform. I can patrol the whole neighborhood from there. When I bark, it works. People keep right on walking. The boys on the track team run down the street as fast as they can when they hear me barking from my barking platform. Carmen just laughs and says, oh, Tasse, you are a monster dog, but I love you. And then I'd like to read another story about this small dog with an attitude who goes to a Halloween party. And she says, I once went to a Halloween costume party. Carmen's daughter Elizabeth gave me a pink medieval princess hat and cape. I would not let Carmen try it on me, not at home. But when we arrived at the party and she started to put it on me, someone said, oh, look at Tasse. So I let Carmen put it on me, and I pranced around in it. I really did feel like a princess. Later, as I posed for my picture, I said to myself, I hope they get my good side. Carmen laughed and said, oh, Tasse, you are a monster dog, but I love you. And there's the picture in her cape and her medieval costume. All the books are bedtime stories except for one, and so they always end about the same. I love you, good night, sweet love. And here's the picture for this little bedtime story. This book is really loved by 4-year-olds. I've had grandparents tell me that when the kids hit the door, they want this book read to them right now. The second book I wrote is very different, and it has a letter to the parents. This book is about Alzheimer's, death, dying, grief, and recovery. Oh, I've got the wrong book, excuse me. Here we go, it's this book. And this book is The Monster Dog, a small dog with a big heart, learns about Alzheimer's disease. Again, it's beautifully illustrated by my friend Hunerdosse. And this book has been endorsed by Dr. Shannon De Silva, a pediatrician with the Mayo Clinic Health System in Austin, Minnesota. So I'm very proud of this book. This book has a theme, and I'm going to read the theme to you by reading the story, and it's at the end. This story has a chapter book with many, many pictures to keep the children who are a little bit older still reading. There's a picture at least on every page. And she talks about, I love to go to the care center to visit Ken. Once there, I knew the way to Ken's room. At first, I went yipping down the hall. Next to barking, I like yipping best of all. Yipping is my special, high-pitched bark. But I had to learn to be quieter. One day, Carmen and I had a nice visit with Ken. He patted my head and said, my sweet Tasse. He hadn't said my name in so long, it made me really happy. I had many friends at the nursing home, nursing home, so I went down the hall to see Abby and some of my other friends. When I came back to Ken's room, he said, "Oh, look, a puppy." A puppy, I thought. Did he forget? I'm almost 12 years old. It made me sad, confused to think he might forget me. But I thought, I know if he forgot me in his mind, he will always remember me in his heart. And that is the theme of the book. The second story I'd like to read for you is a story of the dog's grief when her master dies. And children would feel these same feelings, I'm sure. Happy Times, again, is the name of chapter 4, but it starts with the grief. It hurts. It hurts when someone you love dies. Let me tell you what happened just the other day. When Ken was alive, he just loved to ride bicycles. Ken had many bicycles, was a great cyclist. I remember he rode his bike almost every day until he couldn't balance anymore. It was strange. I was sitting in the open doorway watching Carmen water flowers. Suddenly, I saw a man on a bike come down the road toward our house. I was so excited because just for a moment I thought Ken was coming home. I ran out the door to greet him. I wagged and wagged my tail. I was so excited as the man rode past our house. He didn't come up the driveway. He kept on going, so I knew it wasn't Ken. My heart sank and my tail drooped. I was so disappointed. I looked back once more, but there was no one there. I walked slowly into the house. I was so very sad. I miss him so. It has now been more than a year since Ken left us, went to heaven. We still miss seeing him, but now I am older. I have learned that life goes on. We are content. I often make Carmen laugh, and I like to play tricks on her. Actually, I am back to being the monster dog again. Now, the third book, The Monster Dog, Tasse's Diary of Secrets, is probably my favorite book. All kids like secrets, and she has a favorite line in the book. And when she writes to her diary, she tells her what she's really thinking and how she fools me. And the line that she uses over and over again is, "Ha, ha, ha. I fooled her again, me." And of course, almost all but the Alzheimer's books are bedtime story books, and so is this one. But I'm going to start with a different story. It's called Dear Diary, and Tasse signs her name in each page of her stories. Again, beautifully illustrated by Katie Hunerdosse. And so she says to her diary, "Dear Diary, I often pretend I can't hear Carmen when she calls me. It is my hide and seek game. I know she will come and look for me in one of my secret hiding places. I have several great hiding places. I can go upstairs and hide on the bed, or under her clothes in the downstairs closet, or hide in plain sight on the dining room carpet because it is the same color as I am. It is such fun. When I didn't come to her today, I heard her say, 'Where is that dog? Did I forget to bring her in?' Her voice got louder and louder and sounded more and more anxious still. I didn't answer or come to her. I smiled to myself when she finally found me upstairs on the bed, pretending to be asleep. She was so happy and relieved to find me, she called me her sweet love and petted me. Ha ha ha. It was fun. I fooled her again. Dear Diary, sometimes I am a naughty and spoiled puppy. I am happy Carmen thinks I'm her sweet love and loves me and forgives me. Tasse." And in this book, she also has a dream. And I especially like this story about her dream. And she tells her diary what happens when she plays baseball. And it says, "Dear Diary, while I was napping today, I had the most wonderful dream. You know how I love to jump in the air and catch balls. Well, I dreamed I was a Major League Baseball player. I dreamed I played center field for the Heavenly Hounds. I could hear K-Wag's announcement. The score, the announcer says, is 5-6 with the Heavenly Hounds ahead. It is the bottom of the ninth inning. Folks, the tying run is at bat with Mighty Mutt's best batter, Big Max, daring the pitcher to throw the ball. Remember, the Mighty Mutts have 2 outs. Big Max swings. He hits the ball hard and high. Will it be a home run? No. Tasse is in the outfield. She's running very fast. Tasse jumps into the air and reaches very far and catches the ball. Big Max is out. The Mighty Mutts are retired. The Heavenly Hounds have won 6-5. What a game. What a catch. The crowd is going wild. Hear them cheer. Yay, Tasse. Yay, Heavenly Hounds. I celebrate with my team. The Heavenly Hounds have won and are now world champions. Oh, dear diary, wouldn't that be exciting for a small Shih Tzu who loves to catch balls? Tasse. And that is the most adorable picture. So anyway, that's that book. And it has my favorite ending. I'm going to sneak in just a little bit more here. No, that's it. That is. Finally, this is when she goes to bed now. Dear diary, finally she laughs to see, that's me. Finally she laughs to see me upside down with my feet in the air. I just know she will quit reading and scratch my tummy, just like she did tonight. It is almost bedtime, dear diary. Pretty soon, Carmen will tuck me into my little big bed and say, good night, sweet. Sleep well, my little sweet love. I will sigh, wag my tail, and think, good night, my special person. Sleep well, my sweet love, Tasse. And so I've written also a 4th, which will be published soon. Again, it's The Monster Dog, and this time it's Life's Lessons Learned. And Tasse confesses that sometimes there's many children and grown-ups, actually they just don't know what to do. And I think that's an important concept for children to learn. And this has what Tasse has learned in life. And so I am going to read to you a story called Choose Your Friends Carefully. And this is the picture that Katie did for us. That is Tasse and then Sport running away up here in the corner. And so I will read this story now. It's called Choose Your Friends Carefully. The fence gate was left open. I made my way out. I wandered around the neighborhood. Then I met a big dog named Sport. We had a great time for a while. Suddenly, I realized I was lost, and I wanted to go home. Sport said, hey, come with me and let me show you some real fun. I wondered if I should follow him. I didn't think I should. I really didn't want to follow him anymore, but it was just easier to go along. I wanted him to like me, and I wanted him to be my friend. So we went on down the street together. After a while, Sport said, watch this. Then she knocked over a garbage can. As the garbage spilled out, a lady came out of the house and yelled at us. Sport ran off. There I was, all alone, far from home, lost, tired, scared. I couldn't move. I was so embarrassed. I greeted the lady with a little wag of my tail and was very friendly and polite. The lady talked to me very kindly as she cleaned up the mess. She realized I was not the kind of puppy who goes around knocking over garbage cans. She said, now, what are we going to do with you? Then she noticed my name under my pink ribbon. Actually, the lady was very kind to me. She called Carmen, came and got me, and brought me home. Carmen was so glad to see me. She said, "Oh, Tasse, you are a monster dog, but I love you." She was so happy to see me that she even called me her little sweet love. I was so glad to be home. I thought to myself, from now on, I will listen to my conscience and be more careful who I choose to be my friend. And then I will read to you as the last story from the newest book that's coming out, Life's Lessons Learned, a story about language, the language of smiles. And this came to me when I read to children at one of our local schools, and I wondered to myself if they could all communicate. And so I came home and wrote this story. And I think it's my favorite story. It's called Smiles Are Nice. Last winter, John brought Carmen's grandsons, Jack and Scott, to celebrate Carmen's birthday. There was a huge new wet snow, just perfect for making a snowman. And make a snowman is just what we did. He was tall and big, and he wore a hat and scarf. He had stick arms, 2 eyes, and a nose, and a smiling mouth. I liked him so much. I barked to greet him, but he didn't answer. He just smiled in reply. So I barked louder. Again, he just smiled. Then I barked even louder, and I barked 3 times. Still, he only smiled. Finally, I realized that he didn't speak dog, and I don't speak snowman. His smile was friendly, and I smiled back at him. So we smiled at each other as I thought, well, that's okay. Smiles are nice. And that is the story then from the new book, which will be coming out, The Monster Dog, Life's Lessons Learned, where she confesses she has a lot to learn and doesn't always know what to do. So I hope you enjoy my books. And Tasse narrates all of them, as you can tell.